with Joe Biden stepping aside, not seeking re-election, and endorsing Kamala Harris, Trump supporters, MAGA Republicans, Donald Trump himself are losing their collective minds right now. And some of the posts I'm seeing are quite funny, but they're also rather stupid. Donald Trump has posted on Truth Social basically screaming and hollering about the money they spent attacking Joe Biden, and now that he's dropped out, he thinks they should get a refund for their ads and things, or they should be able to sue for fraud, sue the Democrats for fraud. That's not how that works, because at the time Joe Biden was the nominee. Now, just because the situation has changed does not mean anything, and the convention hasn't happened yet. The roll call vote hasn't happened yet to officially nominate Joe Biden. So anything could have happened if the convention had been held like normal. There could have been a brokered convention. The Democrats, their delegates could have voted for anybody else. It's not normal, but it could have happened. Again, there was talks right before the RNC that some Republicans were looking at doing the same to Donald Trump. So that's not how that works. Now I'm seeing the post saying she's not eligible to be president, which isn't a thing, because if she wasn't eligible to be president based on the 12th Amendment, she couldn't have been vice president. So that's not a thing. I'm seeing that there are some states which have already pledged their delegates to Kamala Harris, and now these Republicans are saying that's not how that works. Don't say that about a state with a Republican governor, because one of the states was Texas. Well, the governors have nothing to do with it. It's all about party. The Democratic Party has their own rules for who or how they select their own nominee. So state party leadership in Texas has said they back Kamala Harris to be president. It has nothing to do with the governor, has nothing to do with Greg Abbott. It also has nothing to do with the general election as far as who wins the state. The only thing this has to do is with who's going to be on the ballot. So that's also not a thing. One of the other things that I've heard is that that the Democrats have missed filing deadlines in so many states. Well, the only two states where the filing deadline is going to be an issue is Ohio and Alabama, which is why the Democrats are holding roll call votes, a conference call roll call, like a video call, on August 1st to nominate somebody ahead of the RNC, so they beat the filing deadlines. So that's also not a thing. But they're latching on to anything they think they can. It's just how it is. They don't know enough, but they hear bits and pieces, and they try to make a big deal out of something that isn't a thing. The other thing I've been hearing is this Brunson v. Adams case is back. They're ranting about that again, saying that the Supreme Court's going to take up Brunson, and that that's going to be it. Donald Trump will be the president again. Well, if the Supreme Court were to take up the Brunson case, which so far they have said no like 4 or 5 times, that they're not going to hear it because there is no merit to it. The Brunson case wants the Supreme Court to look at the 2020 election, toss out the election, toss out a number of sitting representatives and senators, basically, and say, well, Joe Biden's not president, Kamala Harris isn't vice president, and Donald Trump needs to take the oath of office and serve out the rest of the term or whatever. Well, they're saying, well, when the Supreme Court does that, there won't be an election this fall. Donald Trump just gets to be president. Well, that's also not how that works. They're just making noise because they don't know how anything works, and they're scared about the idea of Kamala Harris being the Democratic nominee because they know she is going to beat Donald Trump overwhelmingly. They may act tough, but it's all an act, and they're putting all this nonsense out there because they don't know how anything works.